It worked. Okay, I'll see you on the other side. Thanks. Bye. Hi, everybody. I've been having a little bit of trouble with YouTube this evening. I had to try multiple times. It told me the first time that live streaming wasn't available right now. So I apologize for having a little bit more of a delay. As you get to know me, you will find that I work very much outside of time. And it's kind of a funny little paradoxical thing that as a timekeeper, maker, weaver, and practitioner in and out of time, I still have my human tendency to run late. Growing up, my family called it Larry Standard Time because it was something I got from my dad. Anyway, thank you for being here. Again, I apologize for the delay. YouTube was acting funky and finicky, told me live streaming wasn't available when I first tried. Tonight we are going to be, just lit some candles, and tonight we are going to be doing one mini Akashic session. And then I'm going to stream about whatever is coming through as being important for a general energetic transmission. I do have a little bit of an idea about a few things that we're going to touch on. One of those, I think I'm going to start with mentioning one of those is something that's been coming up in my field lately to mention for people who are new to exploring energetics, exploration of consciousness, spirituality, and more. If you are new to meditation and struggling with falling asleep when you try to meditate or come into a state of mindfulness, I generally recommend attempting shamanic journey work instead. Shamanic journeying is a type and form of meditation that is open to everyone. I recommend the work of Sandra Ingerman as to easy steps in learning how to do this. It is how I started early on in my path of the work that I do now. Before I was a practitioner, I was just very engaged in earth-based practices, including Western, like core shamanism. And shamanic journey work is really, really great because it gives the conscious thinking mind steps to undergo. So your conscious mind begins this with you, and you follow certain steps. And before you know it, you are in a magical, energetic realm, and the journey has taken over. But it's a really good way to be engaged enough that you're not just falling asleep. You're also, what is important about this for new people that feels important for me to transmit, because I do know that some of the people who have been watching these live streams are potentially at a different place on the path. They're just awakening. They're looking on YouTube for people they resonate and align with, and looking for guidance and ideas. So I want to say that what is also very important about engaging with journey work that I find important and much safer than typical meditation practices is that for people who are still learning active discernment and how to employ their filter, it is very important to not just completely open up your field to anything, which I'm seeing happen in traditional meditation type practices very often by people who are new to this. So I would recommend for anyone who's new, check out Easy Steps on How to Learn Journeying. And it is also coming up for me to mention what to do if you are trying to come into mindfulness, come into the body, do some kind of practice, and you find yourself falling asleep a lot. Typically, this can be a couple different things. One is that you are simply too tired, that you actually physically need the sleep, and that the nervous system is asking for a complete restoration and shutdown. So that is a legitimate thing that does happen from time to time. The other thing that happens during sleep when you're trying to say, maybe do a quantum exploration, like a quantum hypnosis, is that what is determined to be best for you at that time does not involve conscious recall. And there may be a state that is like sleep. And what happens is that you are being attuned. So you might be taking a nap, and the energy streams that you work with and have given open, ongoing consent to may be attuning you and calibrating you in specific ways. Typically, if somebody is unable to stay present during a session with me or practice sessions and they are falling asleep, I find that means they are not actually quite ready for the work, but they are still receiving exactly what they need from it. So don't allow that to be a discouragement if you're someone who's working at home. This happens to men quite a bit. And I also want to say that snoring does not necessarily mean that you are asleep and unable to do some kind of cosmic or quantum or lower world type exploration. So that came up in our BQH immersion course once, and I didn't this past week that I was honored to get to attend, and I didn't say as much about that during the coursework, but it felt really important when I woke up this morning. The Akash was impressing upon me that I needed to address this sleep thing. And if you are falling asleep, you probably need the sleep, but there is also such a thing as not making yourself so comfortable or not doing what you're doing in the same place that you sleep. So that's another tip. If you're really wanting to see what happens, go ahead and try somewhere else, not in your bed. Anyway, I'm going to talk more about this later. I'm kind of wanting to keep an eye on the time tonight, so I'll talk more about this another time. But there is a certain amount of surrender into the flow of a session that is required for certain types of quantum exploration. And as such, I do request that people check in with me before booking a BQH session. Because of the way my life is structured, I do have strict time limit parameters on BQH. And as such, I typically work with people who know they can shift in and out of consciousness states in fairly easily and in a certain amount of time. And it doesn't mean that you're new. Some people who are new to this can access it very easily. I've worked with many people who have had no issue having a full experience in 2.5 or 3 hours. And my typical time limit is 3 hours, and I'll build in a little bit more on the other side of that. But because of my life structure and being a mother of 4, if you are somebody who thinks you're going to need a lot of time, I will refer you out to one of my childless practitioner friends or practitioners whose children are grown and out of the home. So I'm not sure why it was important to say that, but do know that I think I'm going to go ahead and set the container now, and I'll go right into mini Akashic session. And so I decree and declare that this container is created, infused, and protected by the essence and light of Creator, Great Spirit, the holy and divine Mother, Father of the cosmos. I call in and thank with everlasting gratitude Yeshua as the living embodiment of the Spirit of the Christ, and the Dark Mother archetype, who is the feminine Christ, the magnetic pole. We thank you for your modeling of the way, which is the compassionate and awakened heart. I thank all the ancestors, both past and future, of those present today and those watching the replay, for their space holding, support, and loving guidance. We are here to activate and build upon the wisdom codes that are every cell of these bodies, as we presently embody the sum total of all who came before us and all who will come after us. As such, in gentle yet firm declaration, all siphoning ancestral spirits, other disembodied humans who are confused or in distortion, all non-human intelligence and or AI tracking, demonic oppression, suppression, possession, alien oppression, suppression, or possession, and any kind of attachment and or etheric implant will be guided to the appropriate place throughout this session. I also want to add that if there are any consciousness or soul shards that are being imprisoned by algorithms or other such, not by algorithms, imprisoned in algorithms, those soul shards will be freed to the most appropriate place for their restoration within the void, womb, and tomb of the cosmic mother, rather than being returned to the lower astral or wherever they were stolen from. They are going to go for restoration throughout the course of this session. So anyway, thank you for being here. I'm going to jump right in. I'm just asking right now, I'm calibrating and settling into the session and just asking for permission from the Akash as a living embodiment or a living aspect of spirit to view the essentially portion of the organic interconnected weaving of love and consciousness that is relevant and holding the holographic information for the client today. Okay, I've received that. I'm seeing beautiful purple, blue, and green rain. So that's how it's starting, is beautiful streaks, almost like rain, purple, blue, and green, continuing to come into the fullness of your sovereignty and using your voice to express it, the fullness of truth, of your own truth, the greater truth around you, fully embodying the carrying of the wisdom codes that are within you, accepting the mantle of the anointing, and part of that is the heart of the mother, embodying, living in body as an aspect of the mother archetype, the creatress destroyer. The purple, like the purple cosmic or solar codes that are part of this imagery that I'm seeing are really, really prevalent. So the blue and the green is sprinkled in, but the purple is really significant. And this is the true attuned cosmic purple of the fullness of the mantle of your calling into the sovereignty of self. So that's like a lot of what you continue to further initiate into. It's really important to be feeling no rush. It's not like there's no race, but the Akash is showing me like fully feeling the cellular encoding and remembrance of the specific cultural, shamanic, medicine woman codes that you are and that you carry. So that feels pretty relevant right now for the work that I'm being shown you are doing and will continue to do and will even be developing into. And by work, I'm supposed to be really clear that your life is the work. So no matter if you're just working a regular job or you decide to really, really focus on your energy work, or something else altogether. The work is the life. Being here and doing this is, as life is the fullness of the work. However, there are. It is important for you to touch that ancestral land if you have a chance to do so. And we've talked a little bit about work going on energetically in New Mexico, in that region, and you're being called there. So I'm just going to say I can feel that you're already connected to that land, and I know that's here in the States, but that region of the country, you are doing land work from where you're at. There is a dismantling of a power structure, one of the hidden power structures that is existing hidden in that region, that you in other levels of consciousness are like at the forefront, like you're part of a energetic team that is dealing with that particular region. The Akash and your like soul connections or guidance within your own Akashic record are saying that if you would like to bring a little bit more like conscious awareness to that region, you're going to be shown more of what your higher or expanded aspects have been doing. And it very much relates to a cosmic version of yourself that we have privately spoken of. Okay, I'm seeing a huge frog. I'm seeing a massive, beautiful, bright green frog. So again, bright green, heart of the mother, heart of Gaia, heart of Tara, heart of Earth. Really feels like, I mean, the word the Akash is giving me is bufo. And some of you know that I'm not anti-psychedelic, but I'm very cautious with plant medicine as I feel it's overused. But that's my own editorializing, and that's what's coming up for this person, is potentially looking into frog-related medicine, either whether that's for yourself or one of the, because of your strong template as a medicine person, I'm feeling like maybe this is a potential direction for you to explore at some point if it ever opened up and you were interested in doing so. So that feels really, really special and interesting. And it looks like a massive green tree frog. And privately, if we speak sometime soon, I will tell you about a session that two of us co-facilitated maybe a year and a half ago that featured a massive frog. That was a really important, like, kind of joint shamanic quantum session that feels like it's related to this somehow. And the frog was a guide into like another realm or an underworld and of sorts, and not a bad underworld, but like another realm that was under the ground. So now that I'm saying under the ground, the Akash says, well, think about the inner earth, think about Agartha, think about the other realms that we're just beginning to learn about. So that's coming up encoded in your energetic biofield right now. And from energetic biofield, they want me, in fact, it's another version of yourself who's in your Akashic chamber delivering this to me right now. If you have not looked into biofield tuning, that is another thing that's coming up as something that will feel very familiar and important to you or for you. So I'm seeing this as something that you could potentially weave into the amazing skills you already have and combine it with some of the things that you're already doing for expanded healing. I like Eileen Day McCusick. I loved her book that I read three and a half years ago and have been meaning to get deeper into it. She's here on YouTube. The way you are able, like I'm seeing sound waves and I'm seeing your particular magic as being able to navigate adjusting the sound wave frequency as you connect with people. So that is a really, really important note. Feet on the ground all the time, hands in the dirt as much as possible. I'm seeing pink earthworms. I'm seeing feet on the ground, then kneeling on the ground, then hands in the dirt as if you're gardening, and lots of pink earthworms. Is there more information about this? So the Deva, or the like nature spirits that sometimes I've been learned as the Deva or Deva, that are present within the land that you live on, in your yard, are telling me to share with you that you have initiated into being able to not only speak with them directly, but speak with the earth, the dirt, the worms, and all of the plants themselves. And we know that before how people learned what the plants could do or would treat was by direct transmission from the plants themselves. And what is being shared with me is that the combination of the elementals that are working in your yard, on the land, in the region, and the aspects of the land itself, whether it's dirt, the rocks, the earthworms, the other beneficial insects or bugs in the garden. And I know we're kind of coming out of gardening season a little bit, but you are to holistically contact and communicate in communication with all of them. The plants are talking to you. And what is being shared with me is that you are going to begin receiving information from certain herbs and plants themselves about things that they can do. And sometimes it will be like outside of the norm. So like if you picked up an herbal textbook and it says, basil is good for XYZ and rosemary for ABC, and here, so on and so forth, they are going to be delivering additional new information to you that's outside of just what conventionally accepted herbalism is. And that's going to be continuing to happen more and more. I am seeing you making candles and other such like mindful, like that's what I'm getting is mindful might not be the quite the right word, but it's actually like clearing the mind while you are being like the clear channel conduit stream, and keeping busy with an energetic task, because like I'm seeing you making candles that are quite like infused with Reiki, or with intention, herbs, crystals, so on. I've heard there's a little back and forth sometimes about if you can put crystals in candles, like if it's safe, but I'm hearing that many of them you can. And I'm just seeing things like making candles, making like bundles, like herbal bundles, maybe doing like even some little jars of mixed herbs with special intent. All of these things, cooking, baking, even folding the laundry. So coming into a place where every day there's some time where you're being productive with what you're doing, and it's allowing that clear conduit stream to connect, and allow lots of flow. I'm just, because this is somebody I know and I have consent, and this is someone that I've worked with a lot, I am just blowing some residue, some sticky energetic dust away from the energetic womb space that's just tried to gather and collect there. That would normally be in a different type of session, but I'm just removing that. I'm adjusting the vortex of that energy center a little bit. It feels like there's something going on your left side. Maybe some tightness, maybe a little bit of like hip imbalance or something. We can chat about that later, but I'm seeing this. There's also a suggestion to read more, like read for pleasure. Make time to engage with activities that are away from just work, or just like life admin. So really, really building in some time for pleasure and restoration. I'm seeing you like reading fiction or whatever type of book you really, really enjoy that's just for you. That's being recommended as super important right now. A little bit of time every day. Also, orange and white cat. I see an orange and white cat. I don't know if that's a neighborhood cat that's like, around, or if it's just an invitation to connect more closely, like with feline energy. Being told it's important to mention that most orange cats are male. So there's kind of a masculine component. So more information, please. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like representative of balancing like your own energies as being something that you've worked a lot on and really come a long ways in, and cultivating that really good balance between magnetism and the electric part, and really, really staying deeply connected into the magnetism while being able to take aligned action, and feline energy is present to support that. So amethyst is coming up quite a bit. I'm seeing lots of amethyst. Kind of goes along with the purple that we were connecting with at the beginning. The blue really felt. So some of it was more like throat blue. Some was more inner sight blue, the indigo kind of color. And your sight is continuing to, it's already phenomenal, but it's continuing to clarify and really, really, really expand. I can see that. And then anything going on with like your truth and delivering this as relates to individuals who have been harmful or toxic to you, who are unable and or unwilling to take accountability for that, is part of the current sort of like coming into your full autonomy sort of a dynamic, and how this relates to what these individuals expect from you now. So part of the like blue energy that I'm seeing is, how this person or people are expecting you to show up for them in pretty big ways, in a way that feels like there has been a long-term lack of reciprocity, or even truly being able to see you or respect you for the amazing human you are. So I'm seeing like part of what your process and initiation and work is right now is determining how much, like what the boundary is for you, and how much you're willing to give, how much you're able to give. And I'm just like, there's like the loved ones or the family, the soul connections in your Akashic chamber. And there's quite a few of them right now. I'm supposed to add for you that there's a buck. I think I saw one of these recently, but a massive buck, like big antlers, like very wide. Everybody in your Akashic chamber is holding deep, big space for that process because of the details associated with it. And wants you to know that no matter what happens, you will be held and loved in and through that situation or situations. You can tear up the contract at any time, and you can rewrite the terms of this contract, because I'm being shown very clearly that while not everything is an agreement and not everything we come in with is a contract, and I cannot for a second tell you that I believe that some of the horror that humans have experienced is always something we've agreed to or have, a soul contract for. I don't believe that, but I do believe we come in with life intentions and purposes and lessons to learn, and people we come in to do that with. And I'm just being shown that for one of these primary connections that I'm being shown, this was an incarnation in which both parties, so the main one that I'm thinking about and feeling into, though I think there may be multiple, it was an agreement, and you can change the terms of that agreement at any time. That, however, as you know, may change the agreement or relationship connections with other people associated with both of you. And that can be, I know that can be a challenge to walk. But you are just so held and so loved, and the expansion into who you have always been is being commended. And so like there's just so much love. I'm seeing dolphins. All of a sudden I'm seeing like 3 dolphins. So connecting again with like water, the water energy, and beings who to be benevolent and associated with the water. I guess I'm just supposed to say that it seems to me that dolphins or some of the other associated animals are free will beings who, some may be kind and some may be good and some may not be. Everything here has been subject to density and tampering at one point or another. And we are all on a redemption path. And the Akash wants me to make sure that I say that this redemption, a personal path of redemption, is available and being offered to the person in mind that we've been talking about, like with the relational issues. Coconut oil, coconut oil, coconut oil. I am not sure why I was asked to say that 3 times, but it felt emphatic. And I do know that coconut oil and monounsaturated fatty acids are good for brain health. I'm going to leave that there. Coconut oil was the big paleo darling for so many years, and I oil pull with it, and I do bake with it sometimes, but I don't think it's nearly the miracle food that it was made out to be, so the coconut oil companies can make a lot of money. But it is good for brain health, so I'm recommending that. Bone matrix. So I'm just being shown like the toothpaste that I like and other brands with nano hydroxyapatite, which is essentially bone matrix, are being recommended right now if you're not using them. It's just being recommended as something you could consider for wellness. There is still some like resentment and anger layers and levels that I'm being shown that you're working through, very reasonably so, about numerous things that have happened in life, some grief as well, but specifically gentle liver support and some lymphatic support. Pumping the lymph feels important. So mini rebounder, herbal support for the liver. There is a Qigong move that's really easy. It's kind of like a bounce, and it will also help move and pump the lymph. And that's feeling like an important thing for you to include several times a week, just for a couple minutes. It doesn't have to be a lot, just to help keep things flowing and moving. And I'm to tell you to remember that you are the chalice well. Wow, it's really beautiful. And that you are a birther of realities. And somebody living as an embodiment of the mother, no matter how it shows up in every life, in every quantum version. Ooh, sometimes the emotion just moves. So let's see. Okay. So when I was talking about the liver and the lymph, milk thistle usually shows up for me a lot when liver comes up. This time, I mean, like really dandelion root. So maybe you're already taking milk thistle, maybe you're allergic to it. I don't know, but dandelion root is really being urged as an important herbal support to be engaging with right now. So let me see if there's anything else. I'm trying not to cry. Continuing, like, I know life is busy. Like, I know life is busy, and this isn't necessarily something that is an all the time thing, but I'm just seeing like some of the really amazing meals that you prepare And just for fun, if it's something you enjoy doing, because I feel like you like to cook. In fact, I got the go ahead to start posting all of my very skilled different baking that I do. That's like, I'm like a skilled gluten-free, keto, low carb, egg-free, low sugar, sugar-free. I've done that kind of baking for a really long time. And I got urged this morning to start posting about it because I've never shared it. And I'm pretty knowledgeable about it. And so I'm just seeing like some of the, I think they were amazing looking chicken thighs that were posted several months ago. I'm seeing that there is a way to weave in other aspects of your incredible talent and skill into your like public sharing. If you enjoy it and would like to do so, it's going to help broaden your reach. That's what I'm hearing. Broaden your reach. So that's just a suggestion, never a have to. But if you want to, people enjoy it and are interested in it and appreciative of it. So that feels bok choy. Okay. I'm going to offer bok choy. Just dropped in. Bok choy and other, if you tolerate other like bok choy is a type of mild cabbage. I really like it. I don't eat it very often, but it just totally like dropped in a big thing of a bok choy and 3 baby bok choy as something, a good vegetable to incorporate. Maybe it's sulfur, whatever it is that family is feeling important for you right now. And with that, I think we will close the mini individual session. And I just want to thank you so much for letting me read for you. And I hope that it was important and helpful and loving. And now I'm just going to feel into things for a minute and see if there's anything else that I'm being asked to speak on in general terms. We've been talking a lot about conscious consent in energy work. We have been talking some about the really intense energetic shifts that the whole world is experiencing right now. There is a massive coming up of really, really, really deeply embedded cellular trauma. So what's coming to the surface right now for a lot of people is not even conscious memory. It may include some conscious memory or things that you've experienced in this life. But what I keep perceiving energetically is that we are clearing millennia of ancestral trauma that is being passed on genetically. And there is so much that's rising to the surface for so many people. And you are probably going to have some days where you feel amazing and things are going well. And then there are other days when there is sadness, grief, pain, rage. And these are all normal feelings. And I want to encourage you to work to integrate and release what needs to be released, and work on integrating what's needing to be integrated. There's no pressure. In fact, putting pressure on yourself to hurry up and make this all better just makes it worse. So non-attachment to the feeling is going to be what helps move the feeling. So it's okay to feel all the feelings. It is in feeling them that they are allowed to move and go where they need to go. And your process of internal alchemy can kick in and help to transform and transmute them. And that's really important. It's also important not to be alone. I think I spoke about that recently. Even if you live alone or you have a little bit more of a solitary existence, you can reach out and find so many groups of good, kind, real people that are interested in things that you're interested in online. There's a group for just about everything. And there are many ways that you can connect for support, even anonymous support online. So if you're struggling, please do look for communities of others to support you. I think I had shared that when I became active on Twitter in maybe like 2019 and then really into 2020, I met a lot of amazing people and it changed my life. And so we don't want to live on the computer or on the phone, but it can be a really, really wonderful tool to connect with your people if you're feeling alone, or you're ready to expand into more generative connections that are aligned with the current frequency bandwidth that you're existing at. I'm just reading this comment. Yes, I love that. The 7 sacred trees. That's amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing about that. I wanted to take a look at that. So, working through emotions, the big emotions that need to clear and move, and also understanding what's important is that for you to understand, and this is deep. These are deep concepts, but not everything is going to go away. As in, you can feel so much better and you can do so much for yourself, but healing looks different sometimes than we went in expecting it to. Some things we change, but we don't totally clear. I'm not trying to put limitations on anyone, but I need to tell you that from an energetic perspective and what I can view when I am in the quantum Akash, when I am outside of time, what I view is that many things can be completely healed. And then the things that are not healed the way we thought it would be, some kind of a physical issue, for example, are because we came here to experience that, or we came here and that was an agreement. And I know that that's pretty deep, but I had an email a few weeks ago that just really tugged at my heart. Somebody saying, like, when am I going to be healed? When will my mind feel like I want it to? And that ultimately is a difficult answer. It's an easy one, simple but not easy. Maybe that's the way to say it. We can do so much, and I can deliver in session with you my alchemical way, making magic and really, really move things. However, the mind, if you are attached to making your mind feel the way you want it to, you are drawing near to you the energy that your mind is not how you want it to be. And then you create more of it. And it is in needing to come to understand that tenet and that concept that we can understand that a lot of times it may be an unintegrated part of the human individuated ego personality that is being attached to the idea of something being a certain way. I will do XYZ, and then I'm going to be feeling magically miraculous and won't have any more problems. And that simply is a very understandable thing that many of us, we all have felt that from time to time. And it is in that the lessons come. It is in my own, I've shared on this channel before, in my own pain, in my own suffering is actually what spurred me. It was the sacred wound, as Caroline Miss calls it. The sacred wounding that spurred me into my work was physical pain. Pain is a catalyst. And if you are experiencing physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, psychological pain of any kind, I encourage you to look at what it is telling you and what the pain is offering to you. What is it offering to you? How can you transmute this into your service, into your love, into your devotional offering to the mother and to this beautiful world that we are here to midwife into, I pray something better. We are at many choice points right now, individual choice points, and a big, massive collective choice point. And I have beautiful, beautiful knowingness that we can create well. And I hope that on that note, this has been a beautiful, generative, nourishing time for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my channel and you want to connect, there are a few links in my like YouTube bio or information. I am most active on social media on Twitter or X at Sarah Descending, same handle as I am here on YouTube. And I also participate on some of the other platforms, and been going live here about probably 3 times a week on average, maybe 4. Individual mini Akashic readings are available during these live streams. And if you would like one, they can be arranged and reserved via email. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, I am a multimodality practitioner. You can view all my current offerings at stan.store/Sarah Descending. I do this full time and would love to connect with you. I recommend that most people who are new to this work do have at least one quantum clearing and energy repair session. Most people need 2 if they're really committing and serious about coming into this kind of paradigm and working together. Akashic records are always wonderful and always fun and really special. They are a guidance focused, guidance and kind of information focused transmission. And I can only offer to you information or guidance or initiation or activation at the level at which you are able to receive it from the Akash. So what I have found for both Akash and even beyond quantum healing is that it's super helpful for most people to have engaged in some level of energy work, energy clearing prior to booking those modalities. Of course, they can be booked at any time, but I just wanted to share that because people do sometimes have questions about, which one should they start with, what's right for them. I just invite you to check out all my offerings if you're interested, and I will be live here again, probably on, I am going to say probably on Monday, potentially Tuesday, but I think we'll be trying for Monday, and I will announce it here. I'm trying to remember to announce and post like a little community post to let you know that I'll be live that evening. And then again, you can connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and typically I will be posting those places as well earlier in the day to let you know that I plan to be live here tonight. So thank you again so much for being here. It was a joy and honor to connect with you, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening, or if you're somewhere else where it's already morning or afternoon, a great one of those too. And I'll talk to you soon.